was saying, this is pretty much we consider the original 89 sequel comic. And as John was talking about, it does start with sort of a recap. We see for the YouTube audience, we're showing up panels from Marshall Rogers' art. We have Vicky Vale on an interview about how she was saved by Batman, who was fighting the Joker. And the Joker tried to escape on the helicopter. There's the Joker copter with the big giant Joker face on it.
The Marshall Rogers,
yeah.
ha ha ha, is just wrapping around him.
Yeah, very reminiscent of Laughing Through Sign of the Joker. Yeah, and then Batman basically prevented him from being able to make it to the copter, and Joker ended up falling, presumably to his death. And after, they also say that the Joker was, quote, rumored to be an underling of an organized crime boss assassinated earlier this year. In other words, Jack Palance's character, without us actually naming him. And then it says that Batman gave them the signal after all this. So clearly there's a connection into the movies. But as John was talking about, it's also very comic accurate.
What year did this come out again?
1989.
89. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think, would it be fair to compare it to like Evil Dead to Evil Dead 2? The way it sort of just compresses, simplifies, and then goes straight into its own sequel from there.
Yeah. It's kind of an Elseworlds version of that universe. It's kind of like what we talked about with the action figures having the Tim Drake Robin in the Batman Returns line and Penguin looking more like a classic comic book version. It's like, I like that analogy for Evil Dead 2, where you're just making everything a little bit simpler and a little bit more palatable and also more, I wouldn't say comic book friendly, but also just like you can kind of put your own style to it. And it leaves the Joker's ultimate fate open for him to come back.
Yeah. So as we can see here, Vicky Vale has red hair like in the comics. Batman is in the blue and gray as traditional. On that, we have Joker in the Joker copter, and I have, for the YouTube audience, the comparison between the Joker copter there versus the Joker copter in the movie, which just has his face painted on the side. And then Joker actually falls into the bay as opposed to just becoming street pizza at the bottom of the cathedral. So that's actually very similar to what Steve Englehart wrote in his 2 treatments that we covered earlier this year. So check out those episodes if you haven't already. But that's how Englehart, funny enough, wrote it, because that's how Joker, quote unquote, dies at the end of Sign of the Joker. So it makes sense that they sort of call back to that over here. And I believe, according to what you wrote in your Tumblr, this is Earth 1289, as stated in Absolute Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, apparently, whoever compiled that decided to acknowledge it in that form. So it's an official account of multiverse, even if only way people know about it besides my stuff is on Wikipedia or something.
Yeah, it is cool though to get that acknowledgement, because this feels absolutely forgotten in a way. Yeah.